With Gina.
The news with Gina Grad.
Well, I hate to start off this way, but as we record this on a Friday, this is breaking. At least 49 people are dead and 20 seriously injured after shootings at two mosques in Christchurch, New Zealand. Police have arrested 3 men, 1 woman. Murder charges have already been filed against 1 man, apparently a 28-year-old Australian. One of the attackers who live streamed the attack is said to have a social media account, including a link to an 87-page manifesto consisting of an anti-Muslim and anti-immigrant rhetoric. I believe it's on 8chan.
What was the chick doing? It's always weird when they get the women to sign off on this stuff.
New Zealand, by the way, known as one of the safest countries on the planet.
Well, can we do this? Like, we've all figured out that Facebook and YouTube and Siri, like everyone's listening, everyone's watching, everyone's whatever. Can we do a thing which is anybody who's watched this video more than 3.5 times needs to be looked into?
Flagged.
I have no interest in seeing this video.
Never.
I look at it. A, I don't need it in my head. B, I certainly don't want to comply with wishes of homicidal maniacs. Or it's like, I'm sort of, in a way, you're voting for them.
Yeah.
Also, it's disrespectful for anyone who's deceased or their family members. So across the board, for psychological reasons, being my own well-being, that dovetail nicely into social justice, I don't want anything to do with it. But if you're someone who watches one of these videos quite often, I worry. Right. I worry about you on a few different levels. And in a world where all we can do is sort of profile and try to stop these things before they happen again.
Get out in front of it.
Anybody who's watched this video multiple times, I would be interested in knowing if they had firearms or what other videos they were looking. And, you can go, well, that's Big Brother. We don't want that Big Brother. It's like, Big Brother's is everywhere. Big Brother takes your money, has your tax, has all your tax information.
Sometimes Big Brother has your back. He's your big brother.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like as long as there's cameras everywhere, and as long as everyone's monitoring everyone, as long as everyone has everyone's records, and it's taken 40% of your paycheck, then why not look into this?
Why don't you do a little protecting and serving?
We're there already.
Yeah.
It may have prevented something like this.
Exactly. And back in the day, remember all those Faces of Death VHS tapes that you'd pass around
those
or whatever?
Were pretty sweet.
Those, I kind of remember them, and they kind of seemed traumatizing at the time. But from what I remember, those seem quaint at this point. Like, if
They're
a guy
silly.
falling out of a plane or something, and this is mowing down people observing a holiday in a church. I mean, what is wrong with you?
That was Francis. That was Girls Gone Wild. That was girls.
Wow.
That was pre-Girls Gone Wild.
A lot of big ideas.
I think it was like too hot, too extreme for TV or something like that. Too hot for TV.
I did like a 20-minute diatribe on that guy. He
Where
went to
is he
USC.
now? Yeah, he's a horrible
maybe
person.
in jail.
He's a horrible person.
The thing about that is, I always said those commercials would just pop up in the middle of the night, like if you're watching Letterman at 1 o'clock in the morning, whatever. And I said, somewhere there is the son or daughter or husband of the woman who is destroyed by the commuter train, and you're just watching Letterman, and all of a sudden it's on.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, that's
pops up.
That's
literally.
Doris. That's my ex-wife. Yeah. Deceased wife, just crossing, and like those people have to see that.
Yeah, it's extremely distasteful.
That kind of stuff bothers me.
Where is Joe Francis today?
I'm
Come on. He's booked next week.
Yeah.
The Gray Bar Hotel.
Yeah.
Living
Sad.
in Mexico with his girlfriend.
What?
Went bankrupt.
Oh.
Living in Mexico with his girlfriend?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Sounds about right.
That's what I would predict.
Had 2 girls in 2014.
He had what?
Had 2 girls in 2014.
Oh.
They're going to pay.
Yeah.
Oh, the Cosmos are going to pay him back with those girls. Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, just on the note about the mosque shooting, apparently in New York, there is beefed up security like you wouldn't believe at mosque entrances and exits, because from what I heard on the radio on the way in on the news, this guy's whole thing was to sort of continue to disrupt the United States. And since he couldn't get here, he did it there. And in his manifesto is, everybody go nuts in the United States. So it's beefed up security.
Could he not get here?
Well, they say he's an Australian and he was in New Zealand, so that much more convenient.
Yeah, I get it, but I just mean, like, as long as you're insane,
who knows?
buy a ticket.
Yeah, but if I don't know why I get into this. If he had like an arsenal, I'd imagine it was easier to get there than to get here.
Yeah.
He wasn't on any watch list or anything, even though he frequently visited those sites.
Is this just like white supremacy? Like, what is? I don't want to know what his manifesto said.
As we talk about this, it's kind of still just breaking, but they're talking about nationalism and white supremacy and white nationalism, and that's where the conversation's headed. So there we go.
Great.
Well, in some very interesting news and a big turn of events, Disney has reinstated James Gunn as director of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This is according to The Hollywood Reporter. Now, this gets a little more interesting than we even realized. So Disney fired Gunn last year in July after old tweets from the filmmaker were resurfaced by a conservative personality online. The firing was controversial, and pretty much all the stars of the movie, Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Bradley Cooper, Dave Bautista, they all signed this open letter asking for the filmmaker to be rehired. And Bautista in particular had been very outspoken in support of Gunn. Well, what almost nobody knew was that Marvel and Disney had never undertaken a search for a new director and had gone back to Gunn and made the deal in secret.
It's always incompetence that leads to these,
according to insiders,
these heroic moves.
Yeah, so he was the only choice apparently the whole time. It was Gunn the whole time.
Going back with the tweets or the yearbooks or the whatever.
We're into it.
We're into it, but we don't have to be into it. We don't have to bite on it.
Well, it's two levels of stupid. Like the like you said, the investigating, the going back, and the yearbooks and the tweets, the whatever. But these were. Remember, they were like jokes, and he was being macabre and kind of weird and out there. He wasn't
they were
advocating.
Far from hilarious.
He wasn't advocating for child endangerment. He was making weird,
dumb jokes.
There's always a couple of gay jokes in there or something. To me, there were a little edgy or a little what, or there was some stuff in there that was a little. Cross the line, except for there shouldn't be a line because he's not hurting anyone. He's not doing anything, and we don't need him to do anything. We're not asking him to sit on the Supreme Court. We're not asking him to fly commercial aircraft. We're just he's directing a movie.
Irreverent comic book movies.
The whole thing. I mean, these things they probably shouldn't. Okay, couple things. If there is no actual evidence of you physically participating in pedophilia or racism or misogyny or whatever, there was no police reports, there was no battered girlfriends, there's no exes and fired. First off, if there's nothing, then we really shouldn't be interested because obviously you're making a joke. I would argue that people that actually are into pedophilia and are into battering their wives don't joke about it.
Don't joke on the internet?
They do a little less joking.
Less public.
They let their fists do their talking. But they don't joke about it. They go a little more than MJ route.
Kids.
Well, did Michael Jackson ever make a joke about it?
He made it pretty close to the vest.
You intentionally don't joke about it because you are... Guys, I make jokes... I'll make a joke in front of Lynette about cheating or my trophy wife or whatever, my ladies on the road or whatever it is because I don't do that. Yeah. But if I did do that, if I was out on the road getting a little punani, I don't think I'd talk about it. I wouldn't joke about it.
You haven't made a molestation joke in a while.
It has been a while. Some say too long.
Suspicious.
So the folks that kind of joke about stuff of that nature
are not the ones we should be worried about.
Well, and with no history of anything. Also, when they have a job as a director or comedian or whatever, who cares? Mm-hmm. And we should really get out of the habit of pretending to care. I don't think anyone does care. I don't think that if you looked at anybody who is a James Gunn fan was not going to be. You watch James Gunn's movies, you get a pretty good idea of who he is or what your sensibility is. I don't think you're going to be offended. You don't have a delicate sensibility. I want to know, like, who are these people?
And on top of that, these are massive movies, these Guardians of the Galaxies, for example. I guarantee more than half the audience, people who pay to see it, have no idea who directed it.
Yeah, and who cares? We're there to see a good movie, not to get embroiled in some sort of whatever. So could we just knock... considering there's now going to be kind of a permanent record of everybody, we need to get away from this dangerous trend of looking up everybody's whatever, and also this notion of whether it's, you know, a Man Show bit or Tucker Carlson on Bubba the Love Sponge, unearthed. You know, I mean, like,
how could they have ever found it?
It aired. It's already out there. Yeah. If people are offended, they were offended. We're moving on.
Yeah,
it's insane, and it's really insidious, and it's kind of scary because it's everyone can kind of go about their life. It's really hard to, I mean, it's if somebody's, let's say, many guys and many women, I'll use this analogy. Many guys and many women are happily married and they're family oriented and they've started families and they cohabitate and everything else. Many of those same people had a swinging, fun, frolicking, wild, youthful, sexual relationship, whatever. Had some wild times with two gals or two dudes and one chick or whatever. Did some things that probably wouldn't fly with the kids and the family and everything else, and a youthful, experimental, whatever it was. Okay, I think that's understood. I would say most people, especially men, but certainly a lot of women did a lot of fun stuff back in the day that they probably wouldn't want to share with their kids today, including some drugs and some sex and some whatever. Shall we find evidence of that, just trot it out in front of the family now? This guy's a family man. He's taking care of his kids. She's cooking dinner and going to work. How much do we need to explore this? Right. And then why do we need to explore it? If they're raising their family, they're raising their family. Yeah, to what end? As Shaq was saying. I mean, really, what good is it? Well, we're going to get them divorced. That'll happen. And then
mission accomplished.
The kids will be impacted psychologically. But really, what I think
otherwise, here's it hurt.
We can agree that everyone did a few things that they might be a little embarrassed to tell in front of their kids or what have you, or their current spouse or whatever it is from back in the day. Good, been there. We got it. Right. Now, what difference does it make now? We've settled in. Yeah. We're family oriented. We're trying to do the best we can.
And how do we live in the same world right now where sex tapes and things that usually had so much shame are now so shameless and nobody cares? And then a tweet or an opinion. Now
it's a star maker.
And now there's a tweet or an opinion and it levels your career. It ruins your life. So which is it and where are we and why is that?
Everyone just needs to go. Everyone just needs to pretty much go with the governor of Virginia, which is like
Northup.
Yeah, and by the way, he should have gone full Colin Kaepernick. Like, he's stupid. He had a press conference and he was going to moonwalk and stuff like that. And he kept himself on the pages on the front page for a little while. In the beginning, it was a little bit of a slow news cycle or whatever it is. Just hang out. It'll just go by you. It'll pass. We'll get tired of talking about you, and we'll go to somebody else. And that's kind of what they did. Everyone's just in place. It's fine. No one cares. No one cared in the first place.
The ultimate example of who handles it right. I'm going to heap some praise on our president, Mr. Donald Trump. He gets in all sorts of controversy, insults all sorts of people who are the Gold Star fan. Everyone. Does he apologize? No. Moving on. Next one. Kiss my ass.
And we also get
and we move on.
Well, we get bored, and also there is no. We're just a feral cat. If there's no saucer of milk, we'll just walk to the next house. Like we say, we'll stand out on the porch. Like, we are outraged. We're outraged. This is horrible. This is an attack. And blah, blah, blah. But eventually, I'll just go, let's go find some milk, and we'll just walk to the next house.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing there.
The mistake Gunn and Disney made was capitulating. Had they been like, big deal, moving on, making Guardians 3.
That would have been about 36 hours worth of news.
Absolutely.
And that's if there wasn't a big shooting in New Zealand, or there wasn't a whatever, Jussie Smollett or whatever. That's a nothing, Van. By the way, you get Jussie Smollett, you're gone. You're gone that afternoon.
Yeah. Whether you like it or not.
Yeah, and also no one cares. Like, we had the governor of Virginia and the lieutenant governor and the whatever, and they all had a little something. There was a Me Too and a Klansman or whatever, and everyone was like, moving on. Yes, that's what everyone should do. Why does Disney have to, like, snap into action? And when you snap into action, you just keep yourself on the front page for another 3 days.
Yep.
That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of not being able to move on, refusing to move on, more Lori Laughlin news.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, please.
So Batista was the most vocal but doesn't talk in the series. Is that what you're telling me?
Maybe that's why he had so much to say.
The guy doesn't
Vin
talk.
Diesel won't shut up about it.
Most vocal.
So,
yeah.
Pouring all over me.
I got a couple stories, so strap in. Olivia Jade, who Brian is now obsessed with.
I want her Sephora line
And
badly.
Isabella Rose. Those are the two daughters of actress Lori Laughlin, who allegedly scammed their way onto the USC campus. They've decided to call it quits. TMZ reports that sources say the girls are afraid they'd be viciously bullied if they
the rowing
returned.
season.
Where's our coxswain
crew
now?
team.
Meanwhile,
Well, she was on a yacht when she heard
that's
the
very
news,
good.
so she was in a body of water. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, Brian, but
I should take that back.
you should.
that's Olivia Jade, the 19-year-old social media influencer and YouTube star. She was dropped by Sephora, giant cosmetic company, on Thursday. Come on. According to one source, she's a mess. She's despondent. Fashion retailer Princess Polly, which was also...
By the way, Sephora or whoever, you guys don't run a charitable foundation. You make clown paint for chicks to put on their face.
That's tested on animals very cruelly.
Tested on animals. What do you care?
What are your moral high
You're taking a stand. Are you kidding? So you just get one of the Kardashians to come in and take her place?
Yeah.
Like, what do you guys do for a living? You make crap that chicks rub on their face.
And how?
Comes off on pillows. It's awesome.
So then the other kid, Isabella, she was dropped. Well, she's not technically dropped yet by Princess Polly, but her page has been taken off the website. Laughlin, by the way.
See, this should have happened to me because, what was she, 19? Mm-hmm. So how would this have financially affected my career at 19? Would be like, Corolla, no more picking up garbage on this construction site.
Do you promise?
You are going to have to go to In-N-Out Burger or Hot Dog on a Stick and find another $7 an hour job. All right, you're not welcome here. Put that garbage down.
Fill that ditch.
Yeah, put the dirt back in the ditch.
So meanwhile, Lori Laughlin, she's taken a hit herself. The Hallmark Channel cutting ties with her.
I love it.
And
so
reports
brutal.
she will not be returning to Fuller House either.
Okay, couple of things. I was thinking about it's $1 million bond. Like, what was $1 million? Like, don't people commit murder?
Risk? Yeah.
Don't people commit murder and get $500 million?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, you only have to pay 10%, but yeah.
It seems exceedingly high. I don't feel like she's a
Guns
flight
were
risk.
drawn.
Anyone who, again, getting back to the James Gunn thing, that anyone who watches Full House doesn't do a lot of judging about this kind of stuff. Like, nobody cares.
Nope.
It's nonsense. Also, you got to be careful when you have a job that anyone could do. Like Lori Laughlin does. Like, all we need is an attractive 46-year-old to do. Anyone
Becky.
can do this job. Anyone can do this job. You got to be careful because you can't. This is Seth MacFarlane. This wouldn't happen to.
Right.
You can't put him out to pasture because he's crazy, or Tarantino or whoever. You can't do that to, but you can. But also,
knocking on the window.
I don't know. I know everyone has to feign like some sort of outrage on this. First off, there's basically a version of this that goes on all day, every day, where you give $100,000 for the film school at USC, and then your kid gets into the film school. Like, there's above the board way to do it. Make a generous donation. Okay, isn't everyone a legacy? Doesn't everyone know somebody?
I think we're more delighted.
We're more delighted, but do we have to be outraged?
And I will answer that question for you.
Please.
Yes.
I will answer exactly who is outraged and what they're doing about it. Two Stanford students who were rejected by Yale and UFC have filed a lawsuit against the college bribery ringleader and 8 universities. So Erica Olson and Kaylee Woods are suing Rick Singer, along with USC, Stanford, UCLA, University of San Diego, Texas, Wake Forest, Yale, Georgetown. The students allege, quote, that's exactly what they're trying to do. Unqualified students found their way into the admissions rolls of highly selective universities, while those students who played by the rules and did not have college bribing parents were denied admission. The 2 students are trying to turn this into a class action suit and presumably recruit others who have been denied admission.
Yeah, they're at Stanford, number one.
That wasn't
number
their,
2.
That was their reach. That wasn't their reach.
Yeah, take that, Stanford. You're USC's fallback school.
I get if you're taking up 2 spots on the crew canoe.
Right.
And there's only 6 people on it, but there's 25,000 people on the campus. What percentage? Really?
There are a couple extra spots if they really wanted.
Do you think Gloria's going to get involved in this?
Oh, yeah.
She's knocking on the door.
This is kind of perfect for her. There are 2 female college students that were discriminated against.
Yeah. She had a great moment where she went out there. She went out with a victim of R. Kelly and had a picture of LL Cool J instead of R. Kelly.
No. Did she really?
She went full Sam Rubin?
She went full Sam Rubin.
LL Cool J.
It was awesome.
Poor James.
Hey, what did I do?
Yeah, she's like this, and it is one of those things where you try to, everyone looks alike, whatever.
They look nothing alike.
But she had a picture of LL. Like,
they look very different.
She probably.
Oy vey. Look at that. Earnest faces.
Somebody, look. I don't blame her. I blame staffers at her law office. Like, is there some 26-year-old that goes, that is not R. Kelly? Like, it is. That's LL Cool J. Like,
do you think that's someone who hates her?
That we're on the inside?
That's an egregious error.
Well, you have to go find a picture of R. Kelly, and it has to be LL Cool J, and then you have to print it out, and then it has to be passed around a little.
Some
like
paralegal has to file that for you.
And was the woman standing next to Gloria Allred one of the victims? Because you'd think she would know.
Yeah, that's not the guy who peed on me.
It probably hurts your story a little. Like, we're suing this guy. Like, that guy from... knocked his mama out? Yeah. Okay.
As long as we're nailing predictions, there are hundreds of names still to come out in this college scandal. Yep. And I don't know if, Chris, you can find my tweet. It's not that important. I said the over-under on the number of Real Housewives that are implicated, 2.5.
Okay.
And we've already today it came out, this is Friday, Phil Mickelson and Joe Montana were tied to the Rick Singer, the business.
Let me explain that
there
one
will be many names.
You think about it's a perfect storm because you have highly successful parents. Mm-hmm. You have
highly competitive parents, super lazy, sort of uncompetitive that dog don't hunt kind of kids.
You have parents who care very much about outward appearances.
Right.
Yep. They really want to keep up with the Joneses. And so you take rich parents who care. See, we're rich parents who don't care. Yeah. But those are rich parents who care. Yeah. And
see what happens when you care?
And it's more vanity for them than it is the kid cares less than they do. They just want to say where the kid's going.
That's why they said a lot of times the kids didn't even know.
And so they have money. Their kids don't have motivation. They're not interested in a top-notch education as much as they're interested in they're going to Wake Forest or whatever it is. And that is a perfect storm of this is going to happen.
Yes. Speaking of Phil Mickelson, he's getting in front of this and he's doing his best. So he says his family used Rick Singer's company to help his children navigate the world of college admission, but the PGA star is adamant he did not participate participate in bribes. Mickelson says his business dealings with singers were strictly above board. He says, quote, "Our family, along with thousands of others, used his company to guide us through the admissions process. We're shocked by the revelations of these events. Obviously, we were not part of this fraud. Our kids would disown us if we ever tried to interfere."
Well, listen, I'm glad that there's still some bribery left to make for us rich people.
Yeah.
You know, like I'd love just to have $100 wrapped around my license and hand it to that guy who pulled me over at 6:11 in the morning the other day. But that's not going to. Oh God, it was like 5:45 or something when he pulled me over. But either way, back in the day, I would just take $100 and everything looks to be in order here, Miss Corolla, and then send me on my way.
Your merry way.
Yeah, so there's still some bribery.
Yeah.
It's
the good news.
It's weird. If the kids didn't know about it, we can't blame the kids. The parents, and maybe this is just me coming from my family, they sound like the best parents ever.
Yeah, motivated.
They sound like motivated, like they really
so
sound
lucky.
like I should have been so lucky. Everyone I went to high school with who joined me on a construction site at 19 should have been so lucky to have Lori Laughlin as a mom. Also, and how. All right, what else we got, Gina Graham?
Well, some Kareem Hunt news. TMZ reports that the NFL has suspended him for 8 games without pay for violating the league's personal conduct policy. That's stemming from 2 violent incidents, including an altercation with a woman captured on video that we've talked about here before. So as a refresher,
So we're living in a spot where you kick a woman and punch a woman or have a violent
into an elevator door
altercation with a woman,
She fell.
You get suspended. We find a tweet of yours talking about women, you get fired from your job.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. To me, we got that one a little backwards.
Absolutely right.
All right.
So just as a refresher, he shoved and kicked a woman at a Cleveland hotel on February 10th, 2018. Cops were called to the scene but did not arrest him. At the time, Hunt was a member of the Chiefs, but the team released him. And, of course, once the video went public and claiming Hunt lied to them about his behavior that night, then he sought treatment for anger management and substance abuse and was later signed to the Browns, who were waiting to see what Hunt's punishment was going to be. And Hunt was also accused of getting violent with a man at an Ohio resort in June of 2018, punching him in the face allegedly in a heated argument. So 8 games, no pay. There you go.
There's is there such a thing as punching a woman once in your life and never ever doing it before or after? Like you're either
like the shark that doesn't get a taste for human blood.
Yes, it's.
I punched a woman, not for me.
I don't know. I feel like
fine.
it's like doing heroin once or something. Like you either
smoke crack
do
once.
it. Oh, really?
You smoke crack.
Oh, I
once.
smoked crack once. Well, that's true.
That's true.
It's true.
There you go. We solved your own mystery.
But the House of Cards.
Well, to be fair to me, I just got up in the morning and my roommate was smoking crack with some other guy he worked with because he worked the graveyard shift. And he'd come home for a while. He worked at like a paper mill or something. And he'd come home at like 5:30 in the morning. And then I'd get up at like 6 to go do construction. And when I walked into the kitchen, he was smoking crack with a guy he worked with out of a piece of fuel hose from one of my cars. They had to make a crack pipe. And I think they went down the garage and got a piece of fuel hose. And then I walked into the kitchen and it was like, "Hey, that's Rob." And I'm like, "Oh, hey, guys just get off work?" "Yeah, we're smoking crack." And I was like, "Oh, okay. You want some?" I was like, "Okay. I'll smoke some crack too." Because, I got to go to work.
Target of opportunity as opposed to the punching of the women or the doing of the heroin, which is like, I'm seeking this out. You know what I mean? So that's where the...
I didn't want to be the uptight roommate. Like, oh, no, I'm just having... By the way, I'm just going to have the mini wheats and not even the frosted ones. Just straight mini wheats.
Do you remember the experience?
Have fun with your crack.
I mean, how did that go for you?
Did
you hallucinate?
Well, first off, it was the pipe smelled like gasoline. because it was a fuel hose.
But was there a downside?
I don't remember if it was like speed or crack or whatever it was. I remember being like, altered momentarily, but it wasn't.
Not freaked out though.
No, it's not. It's not like you're eating a pot brownie or something. That was kind of the problem with crack is you get high and then you're not high pretty fast. Like smoking cocaine. You get high, you're high, and then you're not high. You eat a pot brownie or some peyote or something. You're good for the whole day.
Yeah.
I knew I had a commute ahead of me. I'm a responsible
member of society.
I wasn't much of a drug addict. I was just like, whatever. I'm here, you're here. Guys are smoking out in my kitchen.
When in my home.
Yeah. They're on my banquette.
Yeah.
I made the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
Meet crack casa as Sue crack casa.
Yeah. And my roommate was, he'd gotten a job at like a book bindery or whatever they call them, like a place that just ran paper.
Sure.
And he got a.
Is he still there?
No, he got a job. He's in construction, but he got a job filling the ink canisters or whatever, and it was considered a sweet, a gig because he was making like $13 an hour. Now he had to work from like 5 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Okay.
4 days a week or something like that.
Like a doctor.
Refilling ink at one of those places that was like super loud that the paper's going by.
Phil could nap through.
But the rest of us were making like $7 an hour digging ditches. So it was like, that guy, man.
He's got to figure it out.
He's got it made, dude. Yeah. And he made a friend, and they were smoking crack.
It's good to make friends.
Mm-hmm. All right, what else we got?
Well, actress Rosario Dawson has confirmed that she's dating...
I saw that on TMZ.
Cory Booker.
Yeah.
The senator from New Jersey who's running for president.
It's been going around for a while, though, right?
Well, apparently, this has been rumored for months.
She really confirmed it, man.
She could be. It's possible she could be the first lady.
Good.
Though the relationship has been rumored for months, she finally made it public. She told TMZ the relationship has been ongoing with the 49-year-old politician. And when asked about a proposal, she said, "I have no idea. I'm just grateful to be with someone that I respect and love and admire." The two have reportedly been dating since at least December, and she's pretty political. I mean, she's an activist, so this is not that odd.
Did he play at Stanford?
You did?
Yeah.
I saw the documentary Street Fight finally, like recently. Have you heard about this? This is an old documentary, and he was running for Newark mayor for the first time.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Before he was anybody. He was just some city councilman or whatever who was running for mayor of Newark, and it details hence the name Street Fight. It tells the dirty politics in the, as you can imagine, in the mayoral race of Newark. Very interesting documentary.
Where do we find it?
Netflix, streaming on Netflix. I'm 99% sure. Chris can verify that, but
she's a good-looking lady.
Oh, she is. I saw her recently at like a Joe's Crab Shack or one of those places, and even just in person with no makeup, hanging out with her friends, just one of those striking, beautiful women.
She's one of those women that has
LL Cool J.
She's one of those. She's one of those people that has very strong features that works very nicely, like the big mouth, the big eyes. She's kind of the mixed version of Julia Roberts.
Non-traditionally beautiful. Like she's striking, but like you wouldn't, the features wouldn't. I'm being
I don't know. Is
critical
she
of
half black? What is she?
I don't know. Is she Puerto Rican?
We'll figure it out. Rosario.
Can't be that hard to find out.
You figure it out.
Hold on.
All right.
Puerto Rican, Cuban. Yeah, mom was Puerto Rican and Cuban.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to find out what her dad is.
All right, let's do one more.
All right. Well, I hate to leave you all in a bad mood, but if I had to listen to it, so do you. There's one cover on the soundtrack to Motley Crue's The Dirt. It's out now. You can listen to it. Nikki Sixx apparently got the idea for this particular cover while he was walking his dogs one evening.
I warned you all.
Now, I don't know if you appreciate it or like the song in general, but I especially don't think you're going to appreciate the cover. I'm just going to play it for you. This is the one cover.
Is this Motley Crue doing this song?
Is the one cover on Motley Crue's album. Here's a snippet.
Like a virgin. like in my world, I don't look at Motley Crue as a band. Like, I don't even look at them as musicians.
They're professional wrestlers.
That's what I don't even think of them. Like, I would never think to listen to their music. I see them as, yes, professional wrestlers. Like, I don't...
Is it just me, or is Vince Neil starting to sound more and more like Weird Al?
Oh, yeah.
This somehow sounds more dated than the original.
Yes.
So there you go.
What I never get, it's my sort of let's go to Denny's for breakfast part of life, which is go to your local breakfast joint and get some real breakfast.
Go to the NoHo Diner.
Yep.
Don't go to Shoney's.
Yes. Why are you going? Why would you listen to this music in a world where there's so much other music you could listen to? Now, I know you're stupid, and it's always kind of a homoerotic thing that guys don't really want to mention.
The one point I will try to make and see if it works. You know, when we talk about movies, when you say, look, did it deliver what it said it was going to deliver, no matter how bad? Motley Crue music from back in the day, it can be fun. It can be great party background music.
Bad. I just look at it as bad art that's hurting everything around it.
No one's Skinny Bop for you.
No, it's just bad.
That's poison.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm still a
You
fan.
gotta recalibrate.
Give me Motley Crue's 5 biggest
Oh, there you go.
songs.
Shout at the Devil is probably
Shout
their
at the
biggest.
Devil,
Looks
yeah.
That Kill and Shout at the Devil are
They
probably
Dr. Feelgood and Girls.
Yep.
It just
you.
feels like junk to me. Like it's like if someone said you want dessert, and I was like, yeah, and they would go, you want taffy or cotton candy, and I just went like, no, I want dessert. I want pie a la mode.
Yeah.
They'd be like, we got cotton candy.
No.
We got Zots.
You know what songs?
We got those weird things we stick on paper that come off, the little buttons that come off. And I'm like, no, I want dessert. And they'd go, we got the button stuff. It's on wax paper. And I'd go, do we have pie? Yes. Can we heat it? Yes. Can we put ice cream on it? Yes. Then go get it. But we got nothing.
We got wax
We got
lips.
Mike and Ike's over here. Yeah, we got milk bottles with a little weird junk in there with wax. I don't know. It's a waxy, flavorless mess. What are you guys doing? Why are they a hit band? What's going on? Those songs are horrible.
So, you know what? Motley Crue songs made an incredible comeback in the last couple of years. I've seen a lot of trailers, a lot of commercials, and on Spotify, it's their most popular song by far.
What?
Twice as many plays as any other song. Was this like a minor hit?
This is still heavy on radio.
Oh, it is?
This is played at every sporting event you'll ever go to. For me, the band did trail off. I like their early stuff, but in their defense, I think that this cover was a little bit of genius. I think this is going to work well for them.
Why?
One, you cover a pop chick. Everyone digs that. That's it's like it reminds me of when Me First and the Gimme Gimmes did Nothing Compares to You.
Yeah.
Two, they made it different. They took it, they made it their own song.
Oh.
All right.
They do have a Tool tune, though.
Get your lighter.
Home Sweet Home.
Adam's not.
That's a
into
great
it.
song.
It's a great song.
What is this every thorn
no,
has its
that's-
rose?
It's all
Nah,
the
it's
same.
Home Sweet Home. They're all the same.
Max Pata, you're a musician. Does this sound like anything to you?
I am not a fan of it.
Is there any
come on.
reason
I'm
that
sorry.
listen to it?
It must have been like an era. There has to be some nostalgia to it, but it wasn't my era.
Where
so
do
I
you
don't
stand
know.
on Guns N' Roses?
Oh, how dare you?
No, that-
You watch
I'm
it-
asking
Well,
Adam,
no,
that's
they're
why.
a talented version of this.
Okay.
Thank you. What is this song?
Well,
Home
here it
Sweet
comes.
Home.
Here it comes.
Yeah.
For me and Brian, who were very much raised on MTV the early days,
This is pretty big.
this was huge.
I think it's an okay song.
Yeah, it just sounds like 8 songs
Yeah.
that everyone else already did. Sold over 100 million records. God, we got some dumb people in this country. Rosario Dawson, Puerto Rican, Cuban, Irish,
Hey.
Oh.
and Native American.
Okay, Pocahontas.
What? What's everyone laughing about? Everyone should describe her that. Wait, they should all go, she's Puerto Rican, Cuban. Oh, Irish.
But there's a bright side.
Oh, boy. And Native American.
On the next episode of Ernest J. Bigot, he finds out Rosario Dawson's heritage.
I'm just saying.
I'm just asking.
Rosario Dawson is Puerto Rican, Cuban, Irish, Native American.
How much Irish?
I'm just asking.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. What's her heritage? I'm just asking. All right. Ernest J. Bigot. Let's bring it home.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
You said anal.
Gina.